Hello class of SYBA students. Welcome back to yet another session that we will be having. Now first of all, before I start on with this particular topic, do know that the book that we were referring from was actually wrong. So the book that we're referring to right now is the correct one. It's known as Panorama. Okay, so hope you can see it over here. This is how it looks like. So yes, some of you did come up with complaints saying that it's not the correct book. So thank you for pointing out the mistake. So now we'll just get started and don't worry, we will finish this up as early as possible. Okay? So now before I can take any lesson, I'd love to start with the poetry section. So this is the first poetry that we see in the poetry section of the book. This is known as Palanquin Bearers, and it's a poem by the poetess. The poetess's name is Sarojini Naidu. All of you know what Sarojini Naidu is known for. She's one of the very prominent female figures when it comes to fighting for the independence of our nation. And sorry for that. Okay, she has been one of the pioneering figures when it comes to fighting for the independence of the nation. She worked alongside so many other freedom fighters, and she was also one of them. So when it comes to talking about females and their thoughts and their poems and their stories, Sarojini Naidu kind of does stand out with her poems because she was really known for writing in a very impeccable manner. So before before the whole poem is started, when you can see in the book itself that other than giving the meanings of the words, there's also a little bit about the poet or the poetess. So here in this case, since it's a poetess, Sarojini Naidu was born in Hyderabad. She was born in a Bengali family, and they were very well educated. She went abroad for her studies. You'll read all of that, a little bit about the poetry section. Okay, so it was her, her talent of writing very well when it comes to Indian tradition and showcasing the greatness and the beauty of Indian tradition, and which is why she has written this poem itself. Okay, so when we read this poem, you're going to get to know what it is that she feels about the Indian tradition and what she wants to actually showcase. Okay, so we're just going to start off reading the poem. Palanquin Bearers. Lightly, oh lightly we bear her along. She sways like a flower in the wind of our song. She skims like a bird on the foam of a stream. She floats like a laugh from the lips of a dream. Gaily, oh gaily, we glide and we sing. We bear her along like a pearl on a string. Softly, oh softly, we bear her along. She hangs like a star in the dew of our song. She springs like a beam on the brow of the tide. She falls like a tear from the eyes of a bride. Lightly, oh lightly, we glide and we sing. We bear her along like a pearl on a string. Okay, so we'll go to the next slide. About the poem, we'll just take this over here. This is a lyrical poem that can be read as describing a palanquin or a bride's journey in a palanquin to her husband's home. This is a lyrical poem written in the tradition of a folk song. Palanquin bearers were once familiar figures at weddings held in India. So all of you do know when it comes to the Indian tradition nowadays, of course, the palanquin bearers are not needed. We have these horses, and we just like the bride and groom choose cars and whatnot as their transport. But in those ages when cars weren't available, they used to send a palanquin, and the palanquin bearers would carry the bride to the husband's house. Okay. So it's a kind of tradition, this is a lyrical poem written in the tradition of a folk song. So it's very much ingrained about it's very much about the Indian culture, very much about how practices in the Indian culture are carried on. Okay, so the bearers turn the dreary task of carrying the bride into a joyful experience by singing songs in harmony with their movements. It's not easy to carry a bride from her house to send her off to her husband's house. A lot of emotions mixed in it. There is these people are carrying her, there you have to carry the bride carefully, see that she doesn't have any issues in traveling, and plus the journey itself can be a little tiring as well. But they have this task in their hand, and they don't want to make the bride feel like she's a burden, or she's this task is too much for them. They don't want that to happen. So what better way than to sing during the journey? Okay, the poet gives voice to what goes on in the hearts and minds of the palanquin bearers as they carry the bride to her husband's home. Okay, now this is very clear that she is carried in the palanquin by the palanquin bearers to her husband's house. So let's see how the journey and what exactly is she trying to mention about this particular journey. Okay, it seems to be stuck. Okay, so this, as you know, is Sarojini Naidu. She was born in 1879 and she passed away in 1949. Hope all of you know that. Okay. Now, students, I'd like to point out these. Sorry. Okay. These are known as the palanquin bearers. These people over here, they can be two, they can be four at a time. They can if the cart is too big, if if the palanquin is too big, they can even be six at a time carrying the bride. Okay, as you can see, the bride is over here inside. She's all decked up and she's ready to go to her husband's house. So this is how it happens, and this is how it used to happen in the olden days. Okay, before these cars and before whatnot, this was the practice in the Indian culture. I don't know why this button is not working, so I need to right click and do it. Okay, so lightly or lightly we bear her along. I want to explain this poem to you line by line. Okay, so because stanza by stanza would be too long, so I just want to explain it to you line by line. I want to break it up for you. So lightly or lightly we bear her along, she sways like a flower in the wind of our song. As the palanquin bearers carry the bride to her in-laws' house, they sing songs on this occasion. And the poem mentions that the bride is light to carry and not at all a burden of weight. Now, please, I forgot to tell you this, but please keep your textbooks open. It would be good if you just keep your textbooks open. Okay. Now, lightly or lightly we bear her along. So now they're trying to say that she is not, heavy to carry. So in the very first word it's mentioned that lightly. So she's quite light to carry and she's easy to carry around. And the palanquin bearers don't consider her as a burden of weight. Okay. The poetess mentions that her swaying or moving to the sound of music is like that of a flower in the wind. Have you seen when the wind blows and there are flowers around? Do they move extremely? No, they don't move extremely. They just sway around with the wind. Okay, so such is the movement of the bride. She is happy. She's trying to show her happiness by swaying a little bit around. Okay, to the songs of the palanquin bearers. Okay. So this is her way of responding to their songs. She's responding in a very happy and in a very graceful manner, okay? Like that of a flower. Okay? Next. Okay. She skims like a bird on the foam of a stream. She floats like a laugh from the lips of a dream. Now the bride's movement is compared with the bird's skimming. Skim is to just to just glide over. Okay, just a glider like movement. Okay. Birds touch the foam of a stream slightly and fly away. Okay. So when you've seen like this is the water and the birds, they don't just go right inside the water, they just swim through and they go away. So the same, they're talking about her movement just as the same. She's graceful, she sways softly, So this is what they're trying to compare it to. They're trying to compare it to different elements of nature. Likewise, the bride moves slightly. She's not moving like she's at a disco or something, She moves in a very slight manner. She moves in a very graceful manner. Okay. She is very light, and so she is said to be floating like a dreamy smile from the lips of a person who dreams. Her movement is so delicate and beautiful. The bride seems to be happy as her movement is compared with a laugh. Now, when it comes to the Indian tradition or any tradition for that matter, but more specifically the Indian tradition, all eyes are on the bride. So when it comes to the bride, her gracefulness, the way she walks, the way she looks at people, it's all taken under consideration. And then a bride is supposed to be a graceful woman. She's beautiful on that very day. So this is how they're trying to compare her beauty, her delicateness, and just her graceful attitude to other elements of nature, and also just to fantasize about other things, lips of a person who dreams, or bride seems to be happy as movement is compared with a laugh, so she seems to be happy, so which is why she's jovial and she's showing that she's happy. Okay. Oh, now it's working. Lines 5 and 6. Gaily, oh gaily, we glide and we sing. We bear her along like a pearl on a string. Gaily, students, is happily. Okay. So the palanquin bearers sing happily or gaily as they carry the bride even on high grounds. They still sing and move smoothly. Now, just as I said, it's not just about the emotion. You're carrying a bride. Okay. These palanquin bearers have this task of carrying this bride to her husband's house. You don't know what kind of a road you may have. You didn't have all pakka roads at that time. There were these there were these high grounds, or you can find a little bit of mountainous area as well. So that is how they had to they had to transport the bride from one place to another, and it would be a daunting task. But it was in their hands to make it a smooth task by singing for her, just for the sake of her being happy. Okay. To them, the bride is as precious as pearls on a string, and so she is carried carefully. Why is she carried carefully? They have tried to compare her. They have tried to compare her like pearls on a string. Wouldn't you hold pearls on a string very carefully, or would you just tear it apart or just throw it anywhere you want? Of course not. So this is what they are trying to say. A precious thing such as that of a pearl and she as a bride are the two same things for these palanquin bearers, which is why they are, carrying her carefully. They try to make it a smooth journey for her. Okay. So, lines 7 and 8. Softly, oh softly, we bear her along. She hangs like a star in the dew of our song. As they sing and carry the bride smoothly, their song reflects her happiness, like a dewdrop reflects a star's light. Their happy song shows they are as happy as the bride. So, just as I definitely mentioned that, she is happy, the palanquin bearers are trying to keep it a joyous occasion, So, this is another way of reflecting her happiness, and just another way of reflecting her as a bride. So dewdrop reflects a star's light. Another way of, another element of nature. So do keep these things in mind. Okay, and they carry and sing. Uh, they carry the bride and they sing for the bride, but in a very smooth manner, very easy to understand. Lines 9 and 10. She springs like a beam on the brow of the tide. She falls like a tear from the eyes of a bride. The movement of the palanquin to the movement of a ship, on the ocean. It's compared to. Okay, so there's a bit of a glitch over here, but just do know the movement of the palanquin is compared to, or is similar to the movement of a ship on the ocean. So it kind of glides in a very soft manner. Okay, although the bride sways to the songs, but there is an emotion of pain in her heart that she is being separated from her parents to go to her in-laws' house. Thus, the mentioning of her falling like a tear. Now, she falls like a tear from the eyes of a bride. Have you seen a bride who's taken away from, who is being sent away from her house to her in-laws' house? We know it as, the bidai ceremony. There are a lot of emotions. The parents are at tears. The bride herself is at tears. Okay, so when it comes to this, they're trying to say that they may try to make her feel happy. She may be happy, but there is somewhere in her heart she's also thinking about, her parents, her people back at her house. So there's a bit of pain over there as well. So she might have had a teardrop or two, because she, at the end of the day, is being sent away from her house to another person's house. Okay, lines 11 and 12. Lightly, oh lightly, we glide and we sing. We bear her along like a pearl on a string. So again, it's the same meaning. The palanquin bearers continue to carry the bride, who is as precious as a pearl on a string. They didn't cease their song, or they didn't stop their songs until and unless she doesn't reach her husband's house. They want to make sure that they keep singing and entertaining her and making her feel happy throughout the journey. Okay, cease their song as they carry the bride lightly. They travel far away, gliding through rough paths. So it's very well mentioned over here that it may be a rough path, with a little bumps all over the way, or roads that are not very well constructed, but they want to glide through those rough paths. Okay, they want to make it a very nice and a very smooth journey for the bride. Okay, nevertheless, they never feel sad or burdened by carrying the beautiful bride. So as it is, they have taken it as their duty that they will not make her feel sad. They're not going to make her, they're not going to make it a horrible journey for her. Okay, and another thing, they're not going to make her feel like, oh my god, you're such a burden to carry. Okay, so they're just trying to, she does get the picture that they are singing for her, they are happy for her. Another picture they're trying to portray over here, another thing that they're trying to portray over here, that she is a beautiful bride and carrying her is not much of a burden. Okay, so this way we've ended the poem, and do read the meanings which are written right below the poem itself. Do read the meanings of the words, and that's it. Thank you.